Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Kicking It 316. On tonight's show, we're going to first enter into our Kick It or Pass It portion. We'll highlight some shoes that are going to drop. We'll give you our opinion. We'll slide to the It portion. There we'll deal with some thank yous and recap from last week's episode. And then driving while enlisted in the Army. DAUTE WRIGHT next. And then last, DMX. Thank you so much for kicking it with us. We lit. Let's go. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, fellas?
What's good?
How y'all doing?
What's up? What's
Everybody's
up?
doing good.
Croc kicks. Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, we in here. We in here. Guys, as y'all coming in, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit the notification bell. We want you all to be up to date whenever new content is dropping. Let me get my headpiece right. You know, I got that COVID. I got that COVID head.
Get it together.
Yeah, you both. I have time to grab a hat, so we just gonna rough it out here.
You gonna rough it out here?
I always got a hat nearby, bro.
Yeah. Let me see what this looks like.
All right, the can't go. Let's go. Why not?
Run DMC.
Yeah, I'm saying take it all the way back.
Yo, let's go ahead, man, and let's introduce our special co-host today.
Yeah,
Rashid, go ahead, tell the people a little bit about yourself, man.
Man, I'm just one of many of several pastors at First SDA Church. I'm the youth pastor at First Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Huntsville, the Bible instructor at the mighty Oakwood Academy, and an adjunct professor at Oakwood University. Many hats, because I got an addiction that is out of control. So you know what I mean? I got
Yeah. He ain't lying.
He's
got to provide for that addiction. I get it. I understand.
The whole family, the whole family strung out, bro.
They dripping. It's a drip.
Listen, man, this man hands down has the most sneakers on staff, man, and I respect it, man. You know,
hey,
I've noticed because every week, man, this brother was just bringing out another one. I wasn't seeing repeat. I wasn't seeing no repeat.
Hey, man, you got to share that plug though, because you know what I'm saying. If it's a bot, let me know. I'm all about that. You feel me?
hey, if I got it, y'all, I'll put y'all onto it, man. It's just one of them things from way back. So Shay just see me pulling out stuff from the garage that you know that I need to dust off. Just
hey,
like
don't be telling me where you keep your stuff at, bro.
the garage.
Wait for me to pull up. Way behind the garbage can.
What time you teach? Man, we're just having a good time. We're waiting for you all to come in here, man. You know, the show is only as good as you all are. And every week, y'all bring that energy. You bring the comments, and we're grateful for it. Gio, man, what's been good with you, man? Let's update the people on what's been good this week.
Just live. I think I might be able to actually share this good news with y'all. We are expecting a second child. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm going to do. One was bad enough. Now I got a second one on deck, so it's about to be crazy. So we're just excited about that. So just soliciting all your prayers out there for a safe delivery, and besides that, just work, trying to continue on that health journey. The other day, I made some good decisions in the kitchen, ate a whole bowl of salad, and so I'm trying to not only be in the gym, but I'm trying to also eat well to see how I can maximize my hopeful change. So, I mean, that's about it, man. I'm just ready to kick it.
Yeah, so absolutely, man. I want to say hello to the people, man. I see Shari in the building, Shari Ford, one of our faithful viewers, and one of she's our head office manager. She keeps things rolling there at the church. Her and her partner, and not in crime, but in salvation. Right
there, you go.
Fix it, Doc.
Very good. I see my mom's online. It's good to
Mama
see
Crockett.
you all, man. Whoever's in the building, just go ahead and shout out, say what's up, so we can Say what's up back to you, man. Things have been good. The weekend, I appreciate this weekend.
Oh,
I got my first shot, man. For this,
you brought that fire.
I don't know about all that, bro. I was kind of out of it, but
I know about it. I know about it. He came through and tore the building down.
Come on now.
God is merciful. He's very merciful. We serve a very merciful God.
Yo,
I got my first shot, man, and I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm happy I got the jump, but it you know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with some symptoms, man. So
come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's all good.
It's all good.
It was like the flu game. He came out.
Exactly.
He dripping with sweat. He had nothing left. He left it all on the stage.
Exactly.
He sat down and collect.
So the shoes that he was wearing, we're gonna dub those shoes the flu sermon shoe. The flu sermon.
I was wearing some breads.
Hey, there it is. You got to get some bread.
Maxes. But man, I'm happy. You know, I got my first shot. I'll go back the beginning of May and get the second shot. You all know my family, we had COVID. Mm-hmm. So I'm hearing if you have COVID and you get the vaccination, it kind of hits you a little different. The symptoms, it kind of, hits you a little harder. But it's been mild, really. Some hay fever.
I mean,
nothing major.
It depends if you get that off market vaccine. I know you like the black market stuff, so yeah, I don't know. I don't. Nah,
bro,
but
my
we'll
job
talk.
legit. My job legit. I got my card. I got my
your card.
I got my card.
Hey, that's real talk. But I'm happy you got it. I know that was a point of concern, and I know you prayed your way through, and I know you did your research as well. And I'm happy you got it, man. Yeah. I think the only way to move forward, I'm not advocating for everyone to get it. If you don't feel like you need to get it, that's on you. But I do think it's good to find a way to move beyond and just do your research, pray about it, and trust in God. Like your mom says, trust in the Lord. So yeah.
We're not applying any pressure. I think it's a personal decision.
Yeah,
we respect your personal decisions. Mine changed. I prayed on it. I prayed because I was an advocate. Like, ain't gonna happen, Captain. And my dad was like, "Son, you're too intelligent. You're too intelligent to be thinking like that." But man, but we're here, man. I feel good, man. I'm ready. I'm excited to be here. We got a dope show lined up for us today. A lot has been going on. Hey, Sister Donna Taylor.
Mama Taylor, all right.
Yeah. First Church is in the building, man.
I see First Church is representing. I don't know what's happening, man.
Hey, bro, this is what we do, man. This is what we do, man. What's up?
Y'all got room for another one? What's up? I'll do parking lot ministry. What's up?
The bishop was on last week, man.
Yeah, I was too afraid to ask. I'll be the parking lot pastor. What's up? I'll just park the cars. Let me park the cars. What can we do?
Yo, man, come on, man. We'll make room, man.
KP.
Yo, so yeah, man. So we're here, man. Let's go ahead and get this thing started off, right? We're gonna start off as we always started off with the kicks, man. Kick it or pass it. This is a part of the show where we highlight some shoes that are getting ready to drop. We give you our honest opinion. We have fun with it, y'all. And y'all feel free in the comment section to let us know if this is a shoe you like. Just go ahead and say you kicking it. If this is a shoe you're not feeling, pass.
Yo, I'm excited about today.
Don't be afraid to clown somebody. Like if I say I'm kicking it and you ain't feeling that, just straight up ask me, are you tripping?
Yeah,
we're gonna have fun with it, man. So up first, man, what we got up first?
We got some bangers today.
Yeah, go ahead, lead the way.
You want me to lead it out?
Yeah, go ahead.
We got the Air Max 1 teal green coming out on April the 15th at a price point of $150. Let me say it properly, $150. This design dates back to the 1987, and it continues to be a signature Nike silhouette. Streets and sport come together, and Nike continues to bring bold colors to keep us buying Air Max 1. And you know what, fellas, since I did the honor, let me be the one to lead it out. I am going to kick those shoes. Point blank. I like that little Nike check at the toe joint.
Mini swoosh, the
mini swoosh. That's my speed, and I'm kicking it, man. What about y'all?
Go ahead, Rashi. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm with you, Gio. I'm kicking it too. It's just classic, like a nice tuxedo, nice 3-piece suit. You can't go wrong with it. It's beautiful, perfect silhouette. You can rock it with jeans. You can rock it with shorts. You can rock it with a suit. I'm good with it. I'm kicking it as well.
Silhouettes.
And we already established that Rashid is a shoe connoisseur. I wish you pulling up some heat.
Yeah, I'm all about the mini swoosh. You know what I'm saying? It's in the details. It's in the details. So this is definitely a shoe I'm gonna kick, man. I'm not blown away by the colorway, but this is the Air Max 1. This is one of those silhouettes, man. You really can't go wrong. Like, even if it's they have certain colors that they're not popping really, but you can grab them for the low. You can find some for the low, grab them. They're Air Max 1s. Like, why not? Yeah. Why not? So it's something that I'm nice.
Juan was saying nice Sunday fun day. That's a perfect way to describe it. Good little shoe for brunch, man. You and wifey booing up in a booth. You gotta throw that out there. Just so the waiters can see that you still fresh.
You ain't trying to hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying?
It's a little drip. Just a little drip. We're not doing too much, but we're doing enough. You know,
just enough. It's enough.
Yo, all right. So let's go to this next one. That's on you.
Yeah. We got the woman's dunk low green glow. The woman's dunk low green glow. Ladies, y'all been asking for some shoes. The summer is coming out, and here we have them. This shoe is going to drop on the 16th of April at $100 price point. The dunk was originally designed for the court, but now the shoe is for the streets. That's right. The shoe is for the streets. Fashion and the streets combined. Nike once again continues to add colors to its shoes as we head into the summer season. Straight up, I'm not gonna buy this shoe, but I would like to see this on foot on a lady's shoe, a foot. You know what I'm saying? It's still close to them Ghostbusters. It's close. It's close to them Ghostbusters, but I think without the black, that white, and this glow green, it really pops. This is a summer shoe. I can see the ladies wearing this with some shorts, they
talking to you.
EG White approved. EG White approved. You know what I'm saying?
He talking to you.
Auntie Ellen approved. And it's something that you can rock. Shari says undecided. I'm undecided.
They talking to you. They're talking to you.
Ooh,
underwhelmed.
Thumbs down. That's
they talking to y'all. They talk first. Hey, First Church is letting y'all know they not with it.
Y'all not feeling that.
Hey, don't bring this a board meeting. Don't bring this a board meeting. They gonna vote
it. 3 snaps and a twist. Hated it.
Mama Crocker said not really. Oh, we're not feeling this shoe.
Even Mom shot me down.
Wow.
Yo,
pull it back up there. Put it back up there. Hold on.
They don't know.
Let me see this, man. Let me see this.
It's a glow,
y'all. That thing gonna pop, man.
Yeah,
y'all not feeling that?
These are these are Easter color shoes too, man. You can rock those.
Yeah,
in the spring.
What's the little sock with the little ball on the back that the girls used to be wearing, man?
Little footy.
Put that on with that right there, man.
What you know about that? Though? What y'all know? That's the
tennis skirt. A little tennis skirt. Come on,
man. Exactly. That's exactly.
Y'all don't know, man. Y'all don't know.
Yeah,
man.
That's South Florida.
Right.
Trying to put them on game.
Who's next, man? What y'all think? It's a no. Dang. If y'all smart, y'all better see what this thing is trending, man. Gio, what you think, man?
Being that everybody from First Church already said no, I'm gonna go the other way. You feel me?
Yeah.
No, really. I think that, and here's the thing: a lot of guys who get in, a lot of people who do collect shoes, they don't only do it just for likes, but for the resale purposes as well. And I think those are going to. I actually seen the cost of them now. If you were trying to order them ahead of time, they're like $300 and some change. So there's a profit to be made, and so for the profit alone, I might cop those. Yeah. All right. So it's a business. It's a business investment. Yeah, it's an investment. Yeah.
Rashid, man, what's going on, man? What you feel, man? We already know.
My sister just said for the young girls. I was with you. Painted the perfect picture, Shay. Like I really saw Sister Taylor with a little tennis skirt on.
Come on now.
And a headband. I don't know why I saw the headband.
Yeah.
But I saw her like that, man. But she said no, so I guess I'm gonna tuck it in.
You smart.
Tuck it in.
Yeah.
Read the room. Let's read the room. Read the room.
Read the room.
That's it. So now it's an overwhelming pass. All right. So I'm not always right. Sometimes I'm wrong. Usually I'm right though. Usually we're on the same vibe, but I'm off today, man. But this next shoe, man, if you don't like this next shoe, something
got a
is
problem.
wrong with you. You got a problem.
Hold on. Hey, build it up, man.
Listen,
just talk about it first. We're never gonna put it up here. Just talk about it.
First and foremost, you see me and Gio. You see the light. You see the color. So you already should know what's coming up. You should already know. We coordinated. We coordinated, right?
We get that blue.
For me, this is the number one shoe for the year. I'm gonna say that again. The number one shoe for the year. And I want this shoe so bad, y'all. I'm probably going to sell my bread 11s. Wow. I'm probably going to sell my bread 11s for this very shoe. Wow. Gio, show the people the shoe.
They got to see it.
Ooh.
Hey, and it's a moment of silence, please. Please, a moment of silence. Yeah.
This is the Air Jordan 1 Hyper Royal. It's going to drop on the 17th at $170 price point. This Air Jordan 1 is still the foundational Jordan, and Jordan continues to release dope colorways for this timeless shoe. This shoe has a base of white with a Hyper Royal with weathered leather material and just enough smoke gray to keep the dripping with every step. This is the Hyper Royal, and this is a must. Y'all, it's a must, y'all.
And anybody who say different,
let me give y'all my cash app right now. If y'all want to donate,
no, you know what let's give all the whole cash app.
If you want to donate to a worthy cause, we'll give you a tax receipt, man.
All of that.
$ chubby preacher at. I'm saying I need.
Listen, can I say this though? Them Kim Jones Air Max, what I got, the 95s.
They're going back.
They're going back. I told my wife I have to hit. If I don't hit, then I'm definitely gonna buy.
Let me just go ahead and tell y'all straight up. I already secured a purr. Purr secured. A purr is secured.
Hey, the bag is set.
Came out.
Secured. I secured my pair. Secured my pair, man. I'll be doing a review when I get it. I hope my dog come through. He said he's gonna come through for me. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully come through.
Gonna see. I'm excited.
But you know what? Confession is good for the soul. Crowd kicks are trying to keep that thing tucked in for a while. He don't want nobody to know he made that purchase. Nobody. What he was going to do? Hey, I know Croc Kicks. He was going to show up on the scene with some hyper.
This is not an accurate account of how things happen. I told you.
Hey, hold on. You told me you're going to get him. You say already got him.
My mom my birthday is near. Maybe she wants mother's gonna donate.
Hey, Mama Crockett, man.
Hey,
by the way, my birthday just passed last week. So what's good? This is Crockett. This is Crockett.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with asking for secondhand blessings. I'm just saying. Go ahead, Gio.
So man, how y'all feel about the shoe, man? Go ahead.
No, it's a kick. It's a kick. It's not even. It's not. I don't know why we even talking. It's a kick for me.
Yeah. Both feet is the kick. It's man.
Yeah. This is automatical grammatical. You know, I'm splitting the uprights from 63 yards.
Yeah,
I'm kicking this every day of the week. Yeah. If I'm playing basketball, go ahead, blow the whistle. It's kickball. Like I'm kicking this. Yeah. You know, I'm going. If everything comes through and I get this pair, I'm not gonna rock this, man, till things reopen. Like this isn't something that you rock during the pandemic.
It can't be during the pandemic.
You put it on ice. You put it on ice. You just chill. But when it reopen, everybody they shot and everything back on. I'm stepping out there.
I just pray you wear it on a good sunny day. Don't mess around and get some stuff on that thing.
It's a must. I'm gonna wait to a casual. Sabbath, man. And a youth day.
There you go.
Ministry.
Hey, get a tax write off if you buy it for that purpose, right?
Yo, Juan said get an extra pair to wear on my hands if I could sleep in them. This is a must have.
No, but Juan is smart because Juan is saying what a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are buying two pairs, one for to rock, to kick,
I can't do that,
and the other to resell or to hold on to. But
Now, if I can hit, I'm still gonna shoot a shot on that Snickers app. Now, I'm still gonna shoot that shot, and if I hit, it's cool. I'm gonna try and flip it.
But now that we talking, make sure you put 11.5 if you try.
No, sir.
See, now we're not talking.
No, sir.
Because if you hit, you already got one. If you hit, then we can. I might not hit.
Come on, bro. That's how that works. So if I hit, you gonna give me retail or resale?
I'll give you in between. In between the refill. I don't know what in between.
Yo, Nicole St. Louis said, "What's up, Nicole?" She says, "That's how I feel about makeup. LOL. Yeah. Wait till the pandemic is over." I ain't mad at you, sister. J. Pat says you're not gonna rock it until 2022. Hey, believe that. Atlanta already open.
No, hey, but the thing about it is
Miami open.
Some people will hold on to them for a year.
Yeah, I mean, my Brett 11s, I haven't worn. They're a year old. So I think December they made a year. Yeah, I think they came out 2019, December 2019. I ain't wearing my saddle on them. So yeah, man, some drip coming your way, man. Thank you all. And now we're gonna get to the portion of the show. This is the part where we deal with the things that are going on in society today. And we're gonna start things off, man. First and foremost, man, Pastor Rashid, man, you're one of those individuals. You watch the show on the rebroadcast. You represent that crew that they wake up and it's in their DM or they see it on the timeline and they tune in. We're grateful for you all, man. It means a lot. And so on last week, we had a show entitled, one of the segments was entitled The Journey, and we dealt with some of the hurt and the pain of that we go through while on the journey as a believer. So we just want to send some big thank yous to those guests. C. Wright, sure. Dr. C. Wright, for sure. The ladies of Conversation.
They were on point.
Want to put that S on there. We misspelled that on the flyer. My bad. My apology. I sent that over, but it's Conversations. And then Pastor Snell, and then the audience. Of course, you all were there. Y'all kept the conversation going. And we felt like it was a healthy conversation. And Gio, how'd you feel about the conversation, man?
I mean, I think it's a must-have. And you know, Rashid and you, myself, we're pastors, and not only we're pastors, but we're cut from a different cloth. And that, in terms of the generation in which we're coming up, and we're almost in that transitional stage, right? We're not Generation X. At least I'm speaking for myself. I don't know how old Rashid is, but we're not
that, Gio. But
you got some good genes.
We're not Generation X, and we're not also boomers and builders. And so I know that in terms of intergenerational interactions, there's been a lot of hurt, and a lot of young people that are millennials and younger have felt the brunt of that hurt inside the church. And for so long we've not even been open to entertain the conversation. And I think it was a good thing to have the conversation. We don't have the answers, but at least we can hear and to validate the fact that their feelings are real, they matter. And I was happy that the Croc Kicks, on behalf of all the pastors that were on, apologized. We just said sorry, you know, that you feel that you have been hurt by while attending church. And so I think that there's a demand on us to do better. I think that we have to be able to analyze circumstances and situations and to look at how we can be transformational leaders in this new generation, for this new generation.
Yeah. And Rashid, man, I know just in your various positions, man, you deal with young people who've dealt with pain that they've experienced on this journey, man. And so I'm not sure if you had opportunity to catch the show or not, but just, man, what are your thoughts just about, you know, that pain and what needs to be done to kind of bring some healing to individuals?
Yeah, and as Gio kind of laid out, we are that generation that we saw a lot of, especially for those of us who are pastors now, we saw a lot of our colleagues, our peers walk away from the church, and most haven't made it back and won't come back because they're not getting fed in a way that they say is organic and natural to them. But it's also that that the church, whoever that mysterious figure is in that each situation, that the church hasn't made good on what they say. And so in my dealing with them now, because I teach by extension their children, right? So that's the other part of it, is that what they're experiencing now. One way I had to put it was we giving them Revelation and Daniel, but we not realizing that they want relationship. Like they are starving for somebody to come literally sit down and talk to them about the confusion that they experience sexually, the trauma that they've experienced that happened because somebody at church was trusted. There's a lot of things that I think that as a body we aren't dealing with or scratching where they itch. And I'm guilty of that myself. There's a lot of stuff that I'm throwing out there that boomers and builders have put on us as pastors that we got to be strong with. But I think our relational aspect is suffering. And so
and if I can just add, and you just said it right there, Rashid, because in most of my ministry, in all of my ministry, I've always been the youngest person on my board. Even to this day, to a certain degree, I may be older than a few, but I'm still one of the youngest on my board. And so what you said is true. Like there's that pressure that the builders and boomers are putting on you for you to try to tell the millennials that they're wrong, but you don't. But as a transitional leader, you don't see it that way, right? And there's and then you have that empathy for these young people, because as ministers, we're settled to a certain degree in our faith, and we're not. No one's going to run us out of the church. But we see how young people are being treated, and it's almost maybe not at First Church, but almost everywhere you go, there is a generation of people missing, and we fool ourselves by saying, "Oh, they went away to college," oh, so on and so forth. No, they have gone, and they're not coming back, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
if I can add to that, I think every generation has a group of people
true
who are missing.
Yeah.
Like my mom tells me stories of, people who experience church pain or, pain on their journey when she was young.
Yeah. My God.
This is what people do. We hurt. I'm not making excuses for it, but it is the reality. That's what people do. And I know we would like to think that church is exempt from it. But if that was the case, why are we there? I heard a preacher say, if you find a perfect church, leave. Because the moment you got there, it just became imperfect.
You ruined it.
Yeah. And so I think the other side of it, when we're talking about healing and how can we learn, and we're going to do a part 2, bring on some other guests and kind of see how we could deal with some of the accountability and some of the healing. I mean, I can't say this enough, man. Love is important, y'all. Love is important. Like the first experience somebody has with being up front in church, it shouldn't be a firing squad.
That's good.
Like, the first call, it shouldn't be a disciplinary call. Like the relationship that Pastor Rashid was talking about is important. We got to pour into people, and then they'll be able to receive corrective. By no means am I saying there should not be corrective. I think most instances where I've had, and whether I was, especially in particular when I was pastoring as in the role of the lead pastor, like Pastor Snell shared, most of the times when I sit down and talk to a gentleman, a young man, or an older guy, or if I'm talking to them, they're with me. We talk it out. They're on board. It's not an issue. I think the challenges come when conversations aren't had, and you don't speak or have a conversation out of the right premise, and the premise should be out of love, not embarrassment. Not out of pain or being upset, but out of love. Let's sit down and talk out of love, and we can work it out. We can get on one accord.
And I can't even push it even out of policy. To be honest with you, one of my classmates says, and I agree with that. He says the prodigal journey for some is a part of the rite of passage, and I think that's some people have to leave so they can know what really the essence of a real relationship with Christ. Like
Yeah.
you look at this prodigal, I don't want to preach it, but you look at the prodigal son story. He was there, and he was there, and he, even at home, I think that his heart wasn't right, because he was already planning to get his inheritance so he can go live out in the world. But it's not until he gets to the point where the world has offered him everything and he has nothing left that he realizes that everything that he needed was back home. And I think some people have, they say familiarity breeds contempt. And sometimes when you know something so well, you despise it until you're in need of it. So many people have called me that have left the church, but when they're in trouble, they say, I need you to pray for me, right? Because they understand the power of prayer. So anyhow, it is what it is.
It is. And everybody's going to, if I can just add that right before we jump up into something else, everybody has that figuring it out. Some of us stay in the house while we figure it out. Some of us go away, but I can't condemn your figuring it out because it's not my figuring out.
Gotcha.
You may be trying to rationalize some issues that may be completely foreign to me, but I still went through something similar, not the exact same thing, but something similar. So we got to come with that understanding, as everybody has said already.
And I also want to just say, we can't be afraid to run after people. Like, even in this instance that we didn't do a whole lot wrong, you know, they just got in their feelings for something that really could have been kind of surface. They left. We still got to go after them. Like, isn't that what God does for us? Like, we disobey, we run away, and he pursues us.
But again, and I think it's all about motives. You said it first. I think the motive for going after them should be out of love, right? Not out of duty, not out, because people read through that. I mean, they do. They read through it.
Bro, and this is the thing. This is what's wrong with humanity. We're getting ready to shift and talk about some of the police violence that's going on, brutality. And we always are saying we wish there was value for life.
My God.
But the same thing is in church. Like, if we have more value for somebody's soul salvation, we wouldn't just let them walk away. We wouldn't just let them leave the church. Like, literally, if that was our brother, we're supposed to be brothers in Christ, y'all. But if that was our blood brother who wandered away, what would we do?
Wow.
Like, we would pursue them.
Yeah.
And so part of the issue is we don't see their value. We're so concerned about ourselves and our immediate families and those who are close to us. And we would just allow somebody to just wander away. We got to go after them.
Wow.
Desiree says, check the brethren, ready to accuse when the prodigal
don't return.
Don't return. People cannot give what they do not have. Hurt people hurt people.
That's right.
And perhaps you may not be the person to go after. You might need to let the pastor know, right?
You might be the wrong person.
You might be the wrong person.
And sometimes, and I know
you might got bodies. You might got.
Can I say that sometimes some of the pastors aren't the right persons either? But I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it there.
That's real. That's real.
I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah. But that's real. Yeah. Okay. So, what are we doing now, Croc Kicks?
Yeah, man. Next subject, man. We got driving while enlisted in the Army. Driving while enlisted in the Army. I don't know if you've seen or read the story or watched this video of the second lieutenant Karan Azario. Apparently, he was driving his vehicle. Police officers got behind him. They noticed that they thought that he did not have a tag visible. It was in the window. It was not in the little decal space. And so they turned their lights on. The area was dark. He's a brother. And so he wanted, and it turns out he was legally carrying a firearm. So he wanted to drive and get to a place that was well lit. The first place with lights he pulled into. You see, he's at a gas station. As he's pulled over, the police officers. They come out, guns drawn. Later on, we find out that he had been driving for a little while trying to find some light. So the officer said a mile and a half. That's probably an exaggeration. Nobody really ain't telling the whole truth in that situation. But he was driving for a while trying to find light. They ended up spraying him with mace. He has his hands up the whole time. He's asking what's going on. Guns are drawn. This is a real aggressive situation. Go ahead, jump in there, Gio.
Hyper aggressive. And can I just, I don't know how far a mile and a half is in a car, but if you go 40 miles an hour, a mile and a half, no more than 120 seconds. You know what I mean? So it's not like your boy is driving for 30 minutes looking for light. It was less than 2 or 3 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that, again, it goes back to what you were saying, the lack of empathy for life. Mm-hmm. And these individuals see, there's so many assumptions made, and I get it. The job is dangerous. We just saw this week a cop pull somebody over, and my man had I think it was AR, and all, like on the side of the road, literally took his life. So I get it's dangerous. You never know what you're going to get. But I think that the moment someone is verbalizing and speaking to you in an appropriate, deferential manner, right, that you got to be able to see beyond what you think that person might be and see into his humanity. The man offered his truth. He said he was scared. You can tell he was scared because he drove, according to the reports, a mile and a half to a well-lit area. If he was trying to shoot the cops, why would he do it at in a well-lit, location? So the brother's scared, and I just think that we've been hearing this whole talk about de-escalation, and you can't talk about this de-escalation when you roll up on somebody with your guns drawn, and when someone tells you that they're scared, and your response is not to try to calm them down, but to say, yeah, you ought to be scared, right? And then you're shouting different command. One that says get out the car, one that says keep your hands visible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what are you supposed to do? Mm-hmm. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe we can discuss it, but from looking at the video, I'm just happy that the brother made it out alive. And I think that his decision to go to a well-lit place probably saved his life. His decision to keep his hands visible, right, and to get sprayed in the face with mace probably saved his life. Yeah, his eyes are hurting, but he gets to go home, right? And hopefully he gets to go home with a bag now, because he's going to sue the tail off of that police department, as he should.
Yeah, I can't even add anything else. The level of fear that we now have driving is going up exponentially. Like every week, you're more frightened, and so his decision to pull off in a place that's lit was not only justified, but it verified the aggression that was already set in on the police. Like, so they come that way with body cam on in a well-lit spot. What would they have done a mile and a half back? What would they have on the side of the road? So man, this is one of those things that as a parent of a young black man who's driving now is just, you can't ever have a restful night until they back into your house. So at least this brother made it home, man. Praise God.
Yeah. I think his actions definitely saved his life. I think one officer seemed to be a little more aggressive than the other. Mm-hmm. And the more calmer one, the younger one, wouldn't have really been an issue. But that hyper aggressive one, if he would have pulled over in the dark and it would have come out, if they would have asked him if he has any firearms in the vehicle and he said yes, he was already on edge. Like, certain people don't need to be in law enforcement.
That
is just point blank. That's just the bottom line.
That's gospel.
And I know I don't say I know. I believe I can see how it's a very difficult job. I respect those who go into law enforcement, but if you don't have the demeanor, if you can't stay calm, cool, collective in pressure situations, life or death situations, you don't need to be in law enforcement. Be behind a desk,
Yeah.
but don't drive around where your responsibility is going to be doing traffic violations, pulling traffic stops, right? You're not suited for this.
Yeah.
Right. And you just see, man, I'm so grateful this brother stuck to his guts, drove to a well-lit area, and kept his hands up at all times. Even when they were telling him to reach for the seatbelt, at that
Nah,
point,
brother. No.
don't you reach for
Nothing.
Nathaniel.
Nothing.
Not a thing.
And can I say this? And you can see the, I don't know if the word is that, I guess it is dichotomy. You can see the difference, the opposite polarity in responses. The one officer is just yelling, I mean, nonstop. And this guy is being, not only is being deferential, but he's being respectful, calling him sir, calling him officer. Why? You know, he's speaking in a very calm. I don't know if I could have been that calm, because just off of fear alone, you know, something might have happened. But
he's trained though.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. He's
and trained. The training, and he wasn't just no rookie. Like the training had it's sunk in. You could tell.
Yeah,
he had discipline.
Yeah,
you know, and I know we're always talking about defunding the police. I do have an issue with the phrase. I think it's just bad verbiage, but I understand what is being said. We need to demilitarize our police forces, educate them, train them, and use some of that money to help in some other social areas. But I do think more training and screening is important.
Yeah, but I just say screening. You know, even for us to go into ministry, when we went to Oakwood and Andrews, we had to do a personality test, right? They literally make you take a personality test. Yeah. And I don't know what they do with it, but apparently it's something that everyone has to take to make sure that, you know, there are certain traits that you don't have going into the ministry. And if pastors have to do that, why can't they do the same? And I don't know if they do it or not with police officers, but I think that personality test is key, because there's certain people who are overtly aggressive. Giving them a gun and a license to shoot and kill just now takes that aggression to the next level. And so it
was just embarrassing. I mean, this man is wearing his uniform.
That's another thing, yeah.
And once again, and this is the thing, man. Everybody says, you know, the American flag is so important, and you better not kneel while the national anthem is being. But here is a soldier
being mistreated
with the U.S. Army uniform on, American flag patch on his arm. His hands are up, and you spray him in his face. And then when he's asking for your superior or just to tell him what's going on, you then begin to force him into the ground. Get out of here, man. It's not about the flag. It's not about the U.S. It's about hatred and the lack of value of life.
I don't know if your dad, if Pops is on, but I read somewhere,
if he was on, we would know.
Yeah, I read somewhere that even the armed forces uniform, the disrespect for him to be laid down on the ground is a disrespect to the uniform. Wow. And many veterans, when they see someone in uniform being forced down, they take much offense to it, right? And so that goes back to what and I wanted to ask your dad, because I know he's a Marine, but yeah, they don't play with that. They don't play with their uniform. And bro, and again, the context is everything. They are in a city with close by an army base. And so it's not like they didn't understand, that this person is a part of the army. His rank was there. He's a second lieutenant. You can see that. In fact, the cop try to play him as one of those low rank officers, and he had to correct him. He was like, no, I'm a second lieutenant, right? And so the mindset from the beginning was that I can't see beyond this man's color. He's not an officer. He must be an infantry, and so on and so forth. And it's just, I hope he gets that back. I'm gonna say that over and over again. Get that back.
Crystal said, I think that wasn't the officer. Was he terminated?
Yeah, he got fired, and he got fired. But I don't respect that. why he got fired now that the video came out.
Was released. You saw the same video we saw.
He should have been
It's the culture that we're talking about. Crystal said something a little while ago, 5 minutes ago, that was very important. Said the younger appeared confused and at one point holstered his weapon. And so, like, he wasn't really there for that aggression, man. The younger one, he was trying to work with him, but the hyper aggressive one took over. He even told him, "Don't you open the door? Don't touch that. Get back." It was crazy. And I want to do something. I don't want to spend. This is heavy. I don't want to spend too much time on the second situation that is unfolding now in Minneapolis, where DAUTE WRIGHT was shot. I don't know how y'all feel. Y'all want to? It's just
we got to talk. At least we could talk about it. But
go ahead.
It's more of the same. More of the same. They said it was an accidental discharge. Someone who's in a chat that's much more intelligent than me, explain to me what an accidental discharge means, because I don't, So this young man apparently may have had a warrant. He did have a warrant. Yeah. He did have a warrant for his arrest, and he was arrested. They pulled him out. They're in the process of arresting him, and he attempts to flee, and I guess one of the officers, was 3 officers during this traffic stop. And so they attempted to cuff him. He got out of the hold and got back into the car. And one of the officers had a gun out, and she yelled taser. Apparently she thought she had a taser, but she actually had a gun. And she shot him once, and he later on died. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a sad situation. I wish it goes back to, for me, it goes back to that primal fear that certain people of color have when faced with these kind of stops. I'm gonna be honest. When I go to the doctor, they have to take my blood pressure more than once, because I have what is called, I guess, that white coat syndrome or something like that. When you get into the office, sometimes you're so anxious that your levels are off, and so the second time they do the reading is much better, right? And so I can see that for some people that is the same when it comes down to traffic stops, and so.
And the other side of the coin is, officers are nervous too, but I think training and screening is important. I'm not in law enforcement. I ain't spent not 1 minute. Yeah, I may have took some criminal justice classes when I was trying to find myself and find what I wanted to be. I was running,
figuring it out. Yeah.
I studied everything, y'all. But I mean, I can see some would seem to be mistakes, but I'm not the professional. I just think it makes sense if you pull somebody out of the car to close the car door. He just jumped right into the car that was open. But if you're gonna run, you're gonna run. Like there's no way to really stop somebody from running. Unless you get on, yeah. So it's just unfortunate. I hate that the brother felt so fearful, or for whatever reasons that he chose to flee the scene. He clearly jumped in his car and tried to drive off. That's not right. But that's not an act that deserves to die. No, it doesn't. That doesn't. And I don't understand accidental discharge. You automatically, and then for you to stand before a family and to verbalize and use that language, we can read right through it. You're using language to limit your liability. And then in the next sentence, you want to say it's heartfelt, like you feel for the family. You don't. No, you don't. You're covering your 6. Yeah. Like, be real. You could even say it was a mistake, a terrible mistake. But see, they don't want to deal with lawsuits, right? But everybody knows a mistake. Like she said, taser. It wasn't no taser in your hand. So it's just sad. It's heartbreaking. And this is in the same city, a suburb, Minneapolis. Like
that whole department needs to. Yeah. But can I just say this, and just from an objective perspective, every situation is different, so I'm not comparing. But again, the approach that the second lieutenant took, no matter what the cause or the outcome was going to be, he was going to make sure that the onus is going to be on the police. If they were going to kill him, it was going to be on the police.
Yeah.
That he wouldn't be able to say, "I did nothing. I didn't reach for my I didn't reach for my seatbelt. I didn't reach for the steering wheel. I didn't reach for the keys, for the door. You're going to have to take my life if that's where it's going to go."
So, yeah, but that's not right, though, man. I'm not saying you're saying this right. It's just frustrating because they run all the time. They do mass shootings and then get taken to Burger King. Like, you know, it's just so unfortunate, man. Even for you to tase him in that situation, he's fleeing the scene. Yeah. I understand he's getting away. You're upset. You're frustrated. But even in that situation, why are you tasing him as he's getting ready to drive? Like,
I mean,
what if the car takes off and he hits some oncoming vehicle? Like, let him go. Catch him. Live. Oh, he got away. Like, catch him again. You got a radio. You know, it's just, I don't know, man. We gotta do better about this stuff, man. Yeah. She seemed the officer just seemed nervous. It's just we gotta get better, man.
But it's certain jobs where there has to be a heightened level of situational awareness. Like, you can't think you're grabbing your taser and it's your sidearm. It's certain, you can't just, oops, I messed up. There has to be a certain level of, I know exactly what's going on. When I'm approaching the situation, oh, this is not a violent felon because his warrant says it's this or it's that. So we don't, like you said, if he gets away, he gets away. He's not going off to continue an axe murder spree or a shooting spree.
Right.
We in pursuit now. It shouldn't end in murder, especially accidental murder.
They did say today that they train the officers to have their firearm. I don't know if y'all said that, but they train the officers to have the firearms on their dominant hands and the tasers on their non-dominant hand. And so that's how they you know, if you're right-handed, then your gun is on your right hand side, it's on your right hip. And so, in other words, again, I wouldn't call it an accidental discharge. I would just say it was an accidental shooting. You know, I think there's a difference. And that for me, when I hear accidental discharge, my hand's on the gun and it pops off, and I didn't mean for it to pop off. But in this case, she meant for it to go off, but she thought it was going to be a taser and not so much.
She made a horrible. If it's a, I can't read the heart of men and women, right? I see what Desiree says. She says he got the better of those officers and they were embarrassed, accidental, nothing.
Elijah says they should have taken the license plate number and gone from there. Like, if you know the car has a registration, so you'll be able to find a young man, right? The car is not reported stolen, and unless he was like a murderer, like I don't know what his warrant was about. So maybe there's more information that we don't know, and I don't want to necessarily go into details, especially we don't know all the information.
But the protocols, they got to be protocols, like he's like, and the thing about the police chief or whoever spoke, the spokesperson, he was clear. Like, we trained them. Your dominant hand is where your firearm is. Your non-dominant hand is where your taser is.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of mind blowing that at no point do you look down and see what's in your hand. I mean, they do have similar feelings, you know.
The weight of it all as well.
It's not like the little taser that we get.
No, it's the joint.
It's a hand, like it's a handle. It's like a gun, but still, man, you're the professional. You're the professional, and professionals make mistakes. But when it's a mistake, it's a terrible mistake. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear no language where you trying to soften it. Like, no, this is a terrible thing that happened. And the thing about, I can't read hearts of men and women, but I don't think that that hyper anxiety would have happened if he wasn't a person of color.
Yeah.
And that's the part that has to change. People need to police in neighborhoods that they live in. Because if you pulling me over and you have a fear based upon just the color of my skin, that's a problem. And we got to see what his warrants were, you know, and things of that nature. This story is going to more information is gonna
unfold.
come, but it's just bad. And the timing of this is never good timing. It's never good timing. It's never good timing. But the city is
The context,
it's very fragile right now.
yeah.
This city is very fragile. All right, man. I said this is exactly why I didn't want to do this. More sad on top of sad on top of sad.
Yeah.
DMX, man. DMX. For those who do not know who DMX is, he is a rapper. He was a rapper, 1970 to 2021. And there was a point in my life where I did listen to his music. And one of the things I appreciated about his music was it was from the heart. And he wasn't ashamed of the struggle that he was in. This struggle that most people are in, this good versus evil, your spirit versus your flesh. He just kind of lived it out. And some people's struggle is a little more intense than others. But he was real about his, and I appreciate that about him. I was listening to an interview that Swiss Beats did with one of his good friends, and he said, "You never saw X driving a Lamborghini or a Bentley, because that's not what he was about. X cared and did for others at the expense of himself." He went on to say, there are times when X went to jail because he was so tired. He needed a break. A break from having to help everybody, a break from having to be everything for everybody. And so the place where he could find peace at and pretty much just have some solitude was to go to jail. So yeah, man, there's some things that we can unpack here. But what were y'all thoughts when y'all got the news? I know it was great. We knew this. It was looking grim for a while, So how'd y'all feel about it?
Well, people in our age group love this guy in high school. I mean, just the bottom line. The anthem. I don't want to bring y'all back to it, but in high school, I had guys, and I don't know if Jahid is still on, but we had a classmate that he did everything DMX did, put on the contacts that glowed like DMX from Belly. He knew that he was like an avid guy, followed him in the Rough Riders and all that good stuff, and it's sad. We there's a lot of talk around what caused him to collapse, whether it was health or previous health issues, or COVID vaccination or addiction. So we don't know what it is. So we can't really necessarily discuss that end, but I do want to talk maybe or unpack for me like his transparency. Like he talks about getting hooked on a controlled substance at the age of 14 and not being able to shake it for his entire life. And it's not like
talk about that.
It's not
how he came in contact with it.
Yeah, so he thought he was smoking marijuana, something that a lot of people do, but it was
his first time smoking.
His first time, yeah, and it was laced with I think crack cocaine or crack cocaine. So crack cocaine is very addictive, and from that moment on, he was hooked and could never shake it off. And so again, it's not for lack of trying. If you followed him, he's been in many treatment centers. He's tried to kick it, but he just couldn't do it. And it just, I guess for me, it's just, I don't know if there's something freeing about being transparent. A lot of people, especially in the church, they may not be addicted to crack cocaine, but they have addictions. Whether it's the love of power, the love of money, addictions to drama, addictions to all kinds of other things. But I think there's something freeing about being transparent, because although he had his addiction and he let it be known, he was he was able to, even through it, talk about his struggle, his successes, his failures, his comebacks, his, and so, I don't know. I think that his story is a story that will live, that will remain alive, and it would be a cautionary tale to many people. But I think that many who will see his life and see the struggles he's been through, and the victories that he was able to experience, perhaps will look at their struggles and be able to gain a little bit more of power to overcome what they're going through. So yeah.
And for me, he was that guy that you always rooted for because of that story. Not only the crack laced blunt that he smoked at 14, but thrown away by his parents at 7. Like they take him to a group home, nice little place in the country, and they ask him, is this some place you like to be? Yeah, I like it here. All right, good, because this is where you think. And they abandon him there, and he's until he's an adult, a product of the system. And so you take that and then runs into the wrong friend at 14, and so he's broken by family, abused by friends, forever his trajectory is skewed. And so he's that person that we kind of touched on, that not only has church hurt, but has family hurt, has life hurt, and how the wrong addiction can come at the wrong time in your life and it seem like the only answer. And so if nothing else, I hope that, and we were watching something before we shortly got on here, that he was seeming like he was in a good place, and he was coming out of a rehab, as Gio said, from last year. And for those who saw it when the little sermon he did in the middle of COVID, this was a brother that was always wrestling, for lack of a better word. He was the great controversy personified. He was always wrestling with dark and light in one body, and wanting to give it over to God, wanting to be the representative that he knew he was supposed to be and capable of being. But that addiction that grabbed him at 14 just never really let go, man.
Yeah,
never really let go.
I think the words he used was like a monster was born or something.
That's it.
Like, and while he's reliving the event, like he's crying. Like, why would you do that to a 14-year-old kid? I trusted you. This guy was older. I think he was like 30. And at this point, DMX, he hadn't smoked, not cigarettes, not nothing. Yeah. And he's like, come on, let's hit this, let's smoke X, Y, and Z. And X is just thinking he's smoking some grass, man, and crack. And from there, man, he just battled.
My God.
And so I think as we transition, man, I think one of the things that as Christians we have to realize is that, man, when you give your life to the Lord, like, instantly those things don't just go away.
They don't. Yeah.
You're and it's actually what you're saying is I'm willing to allow Christ in to fight this thing. But it's not this newness of life. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden everything is
the absence.
No, you still gonna have struggles, but now you're not struggling alone.
But I think that's crucial, because I think so many people in Christendom have preached that the presence of God in your life will result in the absence of struggles, and that is not a theological construct or reality for many people. That you can have the presence of God in your life and have some serious struggles personally, struggles in with your family, financial struggles, and I think that we've got to get real with people. It's a journey. There's one of our favorite writers called Auntie Ellen says it's not the occasional good deed or bad deed, but the trend of your life, right? And so many times we get caught up in trying to equate our good versus our bad as if on a balance that gets us righteousness, and it doesn't, right? And so I don't know. I'm not here to I don't want to go into the conversation whether someone say not with a struggle, but I do know that how God looks at salvation versus how we look at salvation sometimes can be night and day. And You know, we've got to make sure that we're on that journey, that we remain on that journey. We remain in the good fight, and we continue to fight to try to make sure that at the end of the day, the trend of our life is trending upward and not downward, right? So
yeah,
I think it's important for us to realize, like, the choices, the decisions we make isn't so much with X, but just in general. Those decisions that we make, they have lasting impact, lasting effects in our lives. We choose to do something. We feel bad about it. We ask God for forgiveness. He forgives us. But the repercussion is you know what that high feels like. You know what sex feels like outside of marriage. And now you have to deal with that temptation. You're forgiven. You are forgiven. God forgets. But you have to deal with that temptation now. We have subjected our senses to something, and now we have to deal with that thing. And I think, and I'm not saying that to place any judgment on DMX at all. I'm just saying from a very real place, y'all. There are life decisions. I mean, life repercussions that happens from the decisions that we make and that we do to people. And I think too often we judge each other and we don't take into consideration that person's journey. You see somebody who's struggling with addiction, but you don't know that they were abandoned by their parents. When they finally decided to give in to the temptation and experiment with drugs, smoking grass, weed. And I'm not, it's still bad.
Yeah.
But how many people have smoked weed before? And the thing is you're not thinking that you're gonna be smoking crack.
Yeah.
And that's why you can't do it. Like, it's just not worth it at this point in time.
You said something that kind of struck my heart. We oftentimes make judgment based off of what we see, not knowing and not realizing that there's the unseen. Not only did all of what you said is true, like the context behind the beginning of his journey, but even in the midst of his journey, this brother has invested in treatment to attempt to break the addiction, right? And so, I mean, it's one of those things where Rodney said that he left a good example for many people, and sometimes you have to look beyond the surface to see the gift and the gem that people are. So yeah, they say never judge a book by its cover. And I heard this guy was actually very brilliant. I heard he was like a genius.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you say that, because we don't know where somebody is in their journey. I'm an impatient driver, and I'm behind people on 53, which is the main thoroughfare here, and I'm running up on them. And one person, and my wife is good at telling me this: hey, you don't know what that person's story is. So I'm telling this one person, get out of my way, disabled veteran on his license plate. Another person I'm telling to get out of the way, handicap on their license plate. I don't know what their handicap is. I don't know why this disabled veteran, I don't know what his story is. And I'm on the verge of being irate. And then I pull up and pass this person, and it says student driver right on the side. But we do this to people all the time. We get impatient with them on their journey. We get impatient with them on the path that they're taking. But there's a story that they have that they're carrying through their journey, which is why they can't speed ahead, which is why they can't whip around, which is why they can't drive as fast as I or you can. But of what somebody else is going through before we condemn them. And I have no idea if DMX is going to be in heaven. I have no idea if Kobe was going to be in heaven, but I know that man left a mark on a group of people that shows that you can be broken and bruised and still make a difference. And so that's what I choose to remember is that brother tried to do the best with what he could when he had the spotlight.
Preach, Rashid. Go ahead.
I just want to right. Go ahead, drop that word. I want to say this, and I'll finish what I have to say with this. In one of his songs entitled "Prayer," towards the end, he writes, "Lord, why is it that I go through so much pain? All I saw was black, and all I felt was rain. I come to you because it's you who knows. You showed me that everything is black because my eyes were closed. You gave me the light and let me bask in your glory. So it was only right that when you asked for this story, it continues to go forward. But just the eyes being closed, being in darkness, but then realizing that light is what opens our eyes. And we saw in real time for us in his music that journey of in the darkness and in the light. And truth be told, most of us have experienced that joint, man. We just aren't bold enough to talk about it in transparency. Yeah. All right. Man, let me grab this shoe. She got some drip too now.
Oh, if you want to show off one drip, we can. We got time. The hour went by fast.
You got a little drip. You want to go ahead and put something now, bro?
He about to bring some exclusive. He keeps his exclusive at eye level. My God.
The dunk from above.
I like them. I like them. Talk to us about that, man.
Man, I'm an Ohio State. I'm an Ohio Buckeye person, but I love that Michigan blue.
Michigan.
I got to get it in his
with the polo.
So hold on, you put on a shirt to match the shoe today?
No, this you can't tell, but this is Laker purple and gold. But
okay.
But yeah, it from distance it matches. But yeah, man. This is my favorite shoe for right now. I've only worn it once. It'll probably come out like Shay said.
I saw that when you wore it.
Yeah. I was doing some pastorally duties for the children, so I rep
the kids.
For the kids. Yeah. So that's the one for right now, man.
That's what's
cool,
up,
man. I got this. This is the Air Max 1. There's nothing really about it. It's very simple, but this is Air Max 1. This is a mushroom pinnacle, and man, as far as quality goes, this is probably the best quality shoe that I have. This is the highest quality that I have.
And that's saying a lot.
Like this joint look like it's Louis Vuitton. Like
that leather,
you see the perforation. That joint look like like air conditioners getting ready to come up out them holes, like on the Lexus seats, man. But yeah, man, I grabbed this shoe. It was the price on it dropped. I grabbed it, and I'm gonna sit on it. I ain't gonna rock it. Not in the pandemic. I'm gonna sit on it. But I'm into Air Max 1s now. So yeah. All right.
Hey yo.
Man, once again, thank you all. Oh, Des, she hating, dog. Why you gotta hate this? She's such a hater. But yeah, thank you all so much for kicking it with us, man. To our special co-host, man. It's not your first time on the show, man, but we called you up, man, at the last minute, man. And you were here, man. And you even brought some fan with you, bro. So we're grateful for it, man. I guess we out.
Yeah. No, we're not out. Computer kind of froze for a second. My bad.
Like the daddy move, come cut the lights out.
Y'all don't gotta go home, but you gotta get back.
You gotta get up out of here.
My bad. Computer froze.
Yeah, thanks for having me, brother.